Where he slips that punch.
And then he lets John Vellante back in.
From a gigantic body to a fury in the blood-red eyes, or just something about the super rampageous moves, each MMA fighter has got something to intimidate his or her opponent in the ring and build that warlike intensity. Well, some of these fighters ace this race and are just super good at intimidating. So guys, welcome to MMA Wired. Please do like, share, and subscribe, and also hit the bell icon so that you never miss your dose of entertainment. So without wasting a sec, let's dive into today's topic: most intimidating fighters in MMA history. Number 8. YOEL Romero. Also called or hailed as the Soldier of God, YOEL Romero is a genetic miracle. Hailing from Cuba, also called the Sugar Bowl, he is a muscle bowl. This barrel of pure muscle is still an elite middleweight at the age of 42. He can drag you to the ground, or he can just knock you down with a moment of explosive dynamism. Ask Chris Weidman or Luke Rockhold just how hard and quick he can hit. They know his strength very well. That physique and Cuban accent just lend to his aura of intimidation and irreplaceable amount of fearsomeness. There's a reason Michael Bisping found every reason not to fight him, and we honestly don't blame the Count at all.
Those knees, it could be good night.
Oh, and down goes Jardine. He's in trouble.
Jardine in big trouble. Silva trying to finish.
Number 7. Vanderlei Silva. The former Pride middleweight champion, who was the product of the bare-knuckled Brazilian Vale Tudo scene, rose to prominence with his sheer unbridled aggression coupled with an insane knockout power as well as a solid base in Muay Thai. This base in this martial art is like another star to his uniform of intimidation. This is his ferocious attitude inside the ring and the style of fighting that led him to dominate the Pride middleweight division between a long span of 2001 and 2007, cementing his place among the most intimidating MMA fighters ever. At the prime heyday of his career, which was a long period for itself, he seemed to be a true unbeaten force while he only underwent some consecutive defeats after he lost his title.
Capo kick there, and now Krokop has him against the ropes in the corner. You know what? Oh, there's a knee, and a nice uppercut, and a shot to the body. And Krokop's sprawl is something to behold, isn't it, Rick?
He does a great job. He's hurt bad. Meadow is hurt bad right now. This fight's over, yeah.
Number 6. MIRKO Krokop. The Croatian MMA fighter is the deadliest warrior in the history of MMA and has a special place in the fans list among the most intimidating MMA fighters ever. While he was honored to become the only fighter to contest in almost all the biggest MMA and kickboxing promotions. Even Joe Rogan said in one of his podcasts that MIRKO is just one of the most deadliest fighters, and that does earn him quite a distinguished reputation from the rest. It's indeed hard to compare such aces.
Well, he was one of the first real high-level kickboxers to enter into Pride. And once he learned how to sprawl, he started lighting people up, like Vochamchin, remember that?
There must be something in his brutal fights and destructive stopping power that has made him such a vicious monster, and this was nothing but his trademark kick. His well-known signature move was notoriously dubbed as right leg hospital, left leg cemetery, while it had a miraculous power to put trained MMA beasts to sleep instantly.
Action. Morris just trying to avoid any way he can, and he's not doing so yet.
Morris is a tough guy. He's taken a lot of shots in there.
Oh, and another good leg strike. Caught him again with a combination. Morris down again. Velasquez waiting patiently for Steve Mazzagatti to stop this fight.
Morris is taking a lot of shots this fight.
Number 5. CAIN VELASQUEZ. At one point in time, CAIN VELASQUEZ was touted as the most fearsome heavyweight to have ever competed in the UFC. A training partner of two-division champion Daniel Cormier, CAIN captured the UFC Heavyweight Championship from Brock Lesnar at UFC 121. With most people believing Brock would be simply too much, Velasquez blitzed the behemoth champion with relative ease, announcing his arrival as the best heavyweight MMA fighter in the world. But things did not turn out as expected for the first Mexican-American champion. Losing in his first defense to Junior Dos Santos, CAIN would recapture the title just 2 years later, going on to defend the title 2 times before falling afoul to Brazil's Fabricio Verdum at UFC 188 in Mexico City. Number 4. Travis View. It's been a tough run of late for Travis View, who appeared poised to transcend his journeyman status when he reached the most recent Bellator light heavyweight tourney final. However, he lost by knockout in less than 30 seconds, and has since lost 4 straight and no longer appears on the Bellator website's roster even as he fights for CFA. Nevertheless, he remains a highly intimidating character. Imagine if you didn't know he was a pro fighter. Imagine you were insane enough to challenge him to a fight. Imagine if you watched him take off his shirt to reveal his torso sleeve. I imagine you'd evacuate your bowels. I know I would.
Rampage with a quick jab. Good left hand. Silva is out. It is all. Wow.
Number 3. Quinton Jackson. The American former UFC light heavyweight champion is one of the pioneers who made the sport so popular around the world, being widely hailed as one of the 10 most intimidating MMA fighters ever in the light of his aggressive fighting style. Not to mention that his eccentric character, the huge chain around his neck as well as his menacing gaze, have made him look even more savage. He was not just a destructive fighter in the Pride FC of Japan, since after he even joined the UFC, he succeeded to grab the light heavyweight title. Amazingly, he knocked out the reigning champion Chuck Liddell with one of his incredible trademark looping hooks. Then he went on to cope with Wanderlei Silva in an epic grudge rivalry as he insanely knocked him out, while the previous match he was beaten by his opponent. In essence, with his special skill in wrestling and street fighting, as well as his distinctive walkouts where he would howl like a wolf, he would be deemed as one of the most intimidating MMA fighters ever.
FEDOR coming in, right hand, overhand right. EMELIANENKO.
Number 2. FEDOR Emelianenko. With the possession of dynamic striking and elite-level Russian Sambo techniques, he was so potent that he could beat some of the best American wrestlers and Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu players in the sport. With his agile and influential striking, he was too much of a challenge for his opponents, especially when it came to his establishing dominance on the ground that had forced them back to their feet, and that is the main reason why he is considered to be one of the 10 most intimidating MMA fighters ever. As one of the most iconic fighters of the 21st century, he proved that he could beat any fighter in his era when he was at his prime heyday of his career, as he has some spectacular wins over some of the MMA giants, as the likes of Mark Coleman twice, Kevin Randleman, Antonio Rodrigo Nogueira twice, Mirko Krokop, and Mark Hunt. These amazing feats in the most dangerous division of the bouts are enough to consider him as the best MMA fighter ever who managed to scare his opponents terrifically.
All I need to do is get my opponents to
Over
raise
the
their
top with
fist.
the right hand. Does Blade's recovery still one behind his feet? Mark Goddard's taking a closer look. Ngannou's powering in. Oh, this is
There it
bad
is.
news.
That's it. Francis Ngannou wins in Beijing.
And number 1. Francis Ngannou. When it comes to the insane modern-day fighters, there is no peer for the Cameroonian reigning UFC heavyweight champion who could carry just a bit of his aura of destruction. While he was enlisting among UFC current champions, who is the most dominant belt holder? He is widely hailed as the hardest recorded puncher in history, so as to get a spot among the scariest UFC fighters 2021. As the best MMA fighter ever and the most physical specimen to ever enter the octagon, he is blessed with a knockout power like Mike Tyson on steroids that has turned him into an absolute monster. In his battle against Alistair Overeem, many had expected to witness the first death in the octagon, while he has spectacularly knocked out the giants like Junior Dos Santos, CAIN Velasquez, Curtis Blades, and Andrei Arlovski in his stellar career. Well, it seems that a fighter's size doesn't limit his strength, and he can actually acquire quite an intimidating personality, also with style, aggression, skills, etc. What do you think about that? Please tell us in the comments section. Hope you liked the video. Please do like, share, and subscribe, and also hit the bell icon for the latest updates. Thanks for watching. MMA Wired will be right back with more amazing content just for you. Till then, keep growing, keep smiling.